Welcome back to the Bitfinex podcast. I'm your host, Ricardo Martinez, and we're broadcasting live from the Plan B Forum in El Salvador. And I'm happy to welcome Herman Bynke from Bitrefill. He is business development and country manager for El Salvador. And we happen to be in El Salvador, so I'm very, very interested to hear what you have to say about El Salvador, Herman.
Yeah, great to see you again.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, I used to work with Herman at Bitrefill.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen you. Over a year, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's adopting Bitcoin maybe last year, yeah.
Not last year, the year before.
Year before, yeah. Yeah, sorry, year before, yeah. We're in January now. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right, yeah. Still here?
Nice. So, what is Bitrefill doing in El Salvador these days?
Well, Bitrefill is in El Salvador. We came here just a few weeks after the Bitcoin law became a reality, and we wanted to establish ourselves here with a company and stay close to the market and learn about, Bitcoin adoption and help stimulate Bitcoin adoption as much as we can. And what we did here, so Bitrefill, we're like an off-ramp all over the world, essentially, where you can use us to off-ramp your Bitcoin for something that you, for a purchase that you do every day, right? And El Salvador, we decided fairly quickly that the thing that would help Salvadorians the most, that the best use case for using crypto with us would be to pay their bills.
Okay.
Like electricity bills, water bills, and so forth. So we partnered with the local company here, and we added a bunch of content in our app, and that's what we're promoting here in El Salvador now, is the use of Bitcoin for everyday life, essentially, purchases.
Yeah, I mean, Bitrefill lets you live on crypto, right?
Right. Yeah,
exactly.
So we're kind of adjusting our offering a little bit to the local market to be a little more relevant for the bankless, essentially. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the target market that we have here is to help the bankless have an opportunity to partake in the digital economy and also simplify their lives a little bit, make their lives a little easier, not having to stand in line in the bank or take the bus into the local town to pay a bill, but you can do it on your phone with Bitcoin.
Yeah, I guess for people that have never been here to El Salvador, kind of explain that process since you live here. If people that don't have access to digital payments have to do what to pay bills?
Yeah, I mean, this country is very much a cash-based country, right? And most people in this country live in the unofficial economy. Essentially, they're earning cash every day and they're living day by day. So they don't have bank accounts, and they don't have really a means to use e-commerce or anything like that. So I think it's culturally too. They're used to cash, and they're used to going to the bank and standing in line with their cash in their hand, and then going to the bank and then pay their electricity bill. They're used to taking the bus an hour, pay $1, stand in line for 2 hours, going to the bank, pay, and then go back. So here we're trying to educate them and inform them that you can do this much more simpler and much easier and much cheaper than what you're currently doing. And that's I think that's a cultural shift that is happening, and we want to be part of that and help that happen, make it that reality, essentially.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. What's the response been from Salvadorians that realize that they have this life hack where they can now just pay a bill from their phone with Lightning?
Well, we see once you've realized how easy it is, you'll come back and you do it again, right?
Yeah.
It is just about finding the people, finding the customer, and the customers that we are looking for, they're usually not found on X.
Yeah.
Most Bitcoiners are on X, but Salvadorians don't really use X. So it's really, it's literally going out door to door, or gathering people together, educating people on how to use Bitcoin to improve their everyday life. So it's a big effort it's a non-traditional marketing effort. All over the world we do performance marketing. In El Salvador, it's tough to reach people in that way. So we have to be kind of outdoor advertising, educational. As I said, door to door. So that's a big investment. But I think once people are on board and they realize, and the word of mouth is helping us a lot. So it's been overwhelmingly positive, but it takes time.
Yeah,
you have to be patient.
I understand that completely. Another question I have is, I don't know if you guys have noticed this so much as I have since I've been here talking to a bunch of Bitcoiners, but a lot of people have moved here from abroad to come live in El Salvador under a Bitcoin standard. And a lot of these expats that have come to settle here in El Salvador heavily use Bitrefill.
Yep.
And the bill pay service, and then also like gift cards and stuff like that. Have you guys noticed like an increase of like non-Salvadorian Bitcoiners using Bitrefill services here in El Salvador?
Well, we don't really know much about our users.
Okay.
Because we just capture
Yeah.
an email address. And we don't really analyze our users in that sense, because we're, but, being on the ground myself and meeting all expats or coming from Canada or US or Europe for the Bitcoin standard, and they're bringing with them the knowledge of Bitrefill from where they came. They are overwhelmingly supporting what we're doing here, and they're also helping us spread the word to their neighbors or landlords or whomever it is that they're dealing with when they come here. So overall it is super exciting to see people congregate into Bitcoin country, El Salvador, and for us to be part of that, and we have that type of customer, and then we have the local Salvadorian bankless customer. So, we're trying to message and communicate with both those. But they both have the same thing in common, right? They want to simplify their life and make their life easier with using Bitcoin on Bitrefill. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. And so with Bitrefill here in El Salvador, like you guys operate in like over like almost 200 countries basically.
Yeah.
How does the El Salvadorian market compare to like, I don't know, some of the more like popular markets that Bitrefill has?
Yeah, size-wise, it's quite a bit smaller, for sure. We do have, that's on the customer side is quite a bit smaller. Also on the content side, in terms of what we offer here, is a little bit different. As I said, we do bill payment here, and I would say 80% of our volume and transaction in El Salvador is bill pay. Whereas bill pay is not really something we do in any other country yet. And also, we're a marketplace traditionally for a gift card. We're a marketplace for gift cards, and there are not that many retailers in El Salvador who have.
I think Latin America in general is like gift cards aren't really so much a thing.
Yeah, gift card is we're using. We're using gift card as a means of allowing people to live on crypto. And in El Salvador, there may be a handful of retailers, big retailers, that have gift cards, and some of them don't really have electronic gift cards. And we're in a virtual electronic based marketplace, so we can't really live physical goods. So that limits our. But we're seeing, we just launched Siman, which Siman is a large department store here in El Salvador.
Okay.
We just launched that gift card, so you can use Bitrefill to pay purchases on Siman. Also gas stations, so we have Puma now.
Okay.
So it's a gift card, so you convert your Bitcoin for a Puma gift card, so you can gas up your car. A bunch of restaurants, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, all those have been in the app for a while, but we're adding more and more, and I think the latest thing we added just a couple of weeks ago is Super Selectos.
The grocery store.
Yeah, it's a grocery store.
Yeah.
It's a huge grocery store chain here. Everybody goes to Super Selectos.
Yeah.
And we just added that gift card. So Super Selectos has a quite advanced own app of themselves, like it's called an e-wallet. So what you can do, you essentially buy credits that you post into or put into your Super Selectos app, and you go into the store and you can use it to pay for your groceries. So it's a very seamless off-ramp for
super
crypto.
convenient. So how would you compare El Salvador to other markets in Latin America?
Well, Salvador, because of this event, is a very special place in the Bitcoiners' heart, and we as a Bitcoin company, we're really committed to support and be here. So in that sense, it's very different. But there are other markets in Latin America that are maybe larger for us in terms of volume. Argentina has come up as one of our top geographies lately. And I think there, crypto is maybe solving an everyday use case more than it is in El Salvador. El Salvador is a dollarized country. Yeah. People don't feel the need to escape from the local currency and convert it into something more stable. So, we're solving the convenience problem in El Salvador, but in Argentina and Bolivia and other countries, we're solving a real monetary problem. So that sense, they're quite different.
Yeah, no, I can see that for sure. with El Salvador like being like a focus for Bitrefill, like what other like things are you guys gonna like introduce for like the El Salvadorian market in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, with companies like Tether and Rumble, all of these bigger actors now coming into the country, it's been a little bit lonely here for a few years, you know. But we're proud of that. But now with the larger players coming in and really, you know, enforcing how, you know, the Salvadorian vision is really forming a reality that people start to believe in and have trust in. I think you'll see a lot more exciting partnerships in this space. I mean, one thing, we're one of the best off-ramps in the world, if not the best, but we need some on-ramps. You know, we need people to obtain crypto, and you know, and I think that's the space where we'd like to, you know, invest some more time and effort and facilitate that people can easily obtain the means of, you know, a payment so they can use Bitrefill, you know.
Would you say that most of like the Bitcoin trading here is done like P2P rather than off like a normal exchange that, you know, like Bitfinex?
You know, it's tough to know.
Yeah.
I would say most is probably remesas coming from abroad. I think, I mean, just considering the size of remesas in this country, like a quarter of the GDP is remesas.
Yeah.
I would think that the crypto that we see here is a large proportion is remesas, but it's hard to know. You know,
it is hard to know.
We don't know for sure. We can't really trace it, but that would be my. I mean, obviously you have and have had Chivo here, but you know, I don't know the size of the market versus the remesas. But to your point, there's a lot of P2P trading as well. You know, people who are familiar with the tools of the trade, right? They do P2P trading a lot, especially maybe the younger customer base that we have, for sure.
Yeah, I was just wondering if like, because you mentioned that there's a lot of people that don't have access to financial services, like bank accounts and stuff like that. So like, if they can't provide like the documents or whatever to get a bank account, then like I imagine it's probably pretty difficult to open an exchange account, right?
Yeah, obviously the only way they would do it is like they go to a Chivo ATM or an ATM and then convert their cash into. But you know, P2P and remesas would be my two biggest bets that's happening. I'd love to learn more about it. So if anyone has data on it, we'd love to learn a lot more on that.
All right, Herman, my final question for you is, aside from El Salvador, like, where else is Bitrefill focusing on? And like, do you have any exciting tidbits that you can share with the audience about like outside of El Salvador?
Yeah, I mean, outside of El Salvador, I mean, we have a Bitrefill card, which is a reloadable Mastercard or Visa card, depending on where you are in the world, that you can easily swap your crypto for in Europe for a Euro balance. So, yeah, we looked at it and we said, while we have all the electronic gift cards in Europe that's available in the market, it still doesn't give. You know, if you want to live on crypto, there's still a gap in the market as to where you can spend it, right?
Yeah.
So we decided to go down the route, and that's been a really successful project, and that's something that we're continuing to build on, and hopefully add more regions in the world that we can.
It's only Europe right now.
Right now, it's a European. Yeah, it's a European. It's a KYC card, unfortunately, but that's just the name of the game. But we're, you know, it's something we are definitely hoping to expand upon in other countries because it's really successful and very, you know, our customers like it. So.
Yeah, that's exciting, man. I can't wait till you got one for Colombia.
Yeah, Colombia, the rest of Latin, U.S. You know, there's a lot of markets that we would love to add the Bitrefill card to.
Nice. Well, Herman, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come and talk to me. It was a pleasure.
Appreciate it, man. Great to see you again. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Indeed.
it.